Greetings from the Basilica of the National Shrine of the Little Flower in San Antonio, Texas. Thank you for joining us for day 2 of our Novena of Reflections in honor of St. Joseph as we prepare to celebrate his feast day on March the 19th. In his apostolic letter for the year of St. Joseph, Pope Francis names several qualities of the fatherhood of St. Joseph. And over the next several days, we'll be considering each one of these ways in which Pope Francis speaks of this fatherhood. First of all, today we will consider St. Joseph as a beloved father, as Pope Francis refers to him. St. Joseph, the scriptures tell us, was a just man. In other words, he was faithful to the covenant established between God and the people of Israel. He trusted in God's faithfulness to his word, and he trusted in God's goodness. And so he knew himself to be loved by God. He believed in God's love and faithfulness. And furthermore, as a descendant of King David, Joseph would have been familiar with the promises that God made to King David and his descendants to build for him a house, to be a father to David and to his sons and his descendants, and to hold a special place for him in his heart. And so Joseph would have placed his trust in this faithfulness and goodness of God. And he was called by the Lord to be the head of the household of the Holy Family, with Mary, his spouse, and Jesus, his foster son, entrusted to him by God's providence. And the theologian Hans Urs von Balthasar, one of his reflections on the Holy Family, points out how completely diverse the 3 members of the Holy Family are. First of all, you have Jesus, who is God the Son incarnate, true God and true man. Then you have Mary, who is fully human, and of course not divine, but is without sin. And then you have Joseph, fully human and described as the just man. But as the scriptures tell us, the just man falls 7 times a day. So it's not unreasonable to say that St. Joseph had his faults. I feel bad saying that almost, but I mean, with all the saints, were beset by human weakness. And so imagine that those 3 people living together. And so St. Joseph would have, as a beloved father, would have been the recipient of the divine love of Jesus, who had been entrusted to his care. And would have been the recipient of the perfect charity of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And certainly he experienced this love, this charity, as patience, as forgiveness, as devotion, and as gratitude for the service that he rendered Jesus and the Blessed Virgin Mary. This gift of himself that he made in their service, in the service of God's plan. And certainly this service that he rendered them resulted in an increasing love on behalf of the Blessed Mother and of the child Jesus. And the burdens that were placed on St. Joseph as he fulfilled his mission, the exile in Egypt, the protection, the toil and labor that he underwent to support Jesus and Mary in their land of exile, the danger that he faced in protecting them. All of this toil and trial that he experienced would have been far outweighed by this daily love and charity and family peace and harmony that he experienced as part of his life. And so St. Joseph, as one who was the recipient of this love, one who lived the faithfulness of God's faithful love for his people Israel and the descendants of David, of which he was one, is an encouragement to us. St. Joseph teaches us to have faith in God's love for us. As we hear in the first letter of St. John, we have come to know and believe in the love God has for us. This was St. Joseph's experience, and he can be our guide in strengthening our faith in God's love for us. So let us conclude now with our prayer, our Novena prayer for St. Joseph from Pope Francis. Hail, guardian of the Redeemer, spouse of the Blessed Virgin Mary. To you God entrusted his only Son. In you Mary placed her trust. With you Christ became man. Blessed Joseph, to us too, show yourself a father, and guide us in the path of life. Obtain for us grace, mercy, and courage, and defend us from every evil. Amen.